Tonight, we want to put our focus on a series of events that have unfolded in the Yellow and Lower Manya Krobo districts of the eastern region. Mind you, these events that have taken place the last few days, you would describe as the climax of things that have taken place since 2 years ago. And so we would want to unpack all that have happened and then ask ourselves what we can do to make sure it does not repeat, or they do not repeat themselves in that district or any other part of the country. Would also look at the story of the young man who died in the process, would speak to relatives of this young man. We'll conclude by speaking with a representative from the Energy Ministry and find out the concrete way forward. Good evening. My name is Keminni Amanor, and this is State of Affairs. Welcome back. State of Affairs is brought to you in association with Bayport and Cowbell. Now, a safe and easy way to access a loan using your car is here, and is the Bayport car title loan. If you own a car, you can use it to get a loan of up to 25,000 cedis cash from Bayport and still drive it. Plus, if you aspire to be a car owner, Bayport is ready to partner you to drive off in that dream car. Bayport's car title loan can help you pay up to 40% of the cost of the car, so you become a car owner. The best part of this, you do not even have to be a salaried worker. Get to enjoy very low interest rates and have your loan processed within 24 hours. With Bayport's car title loan, you're sorted. If you're interested in this or have caught your attention with it, visit a Bayport branch near you today, or you can give us a call on 0302 745454 or 0302 429 120 or 0577 679 105. Bayport, your future now. Let's get into our conversation tonight. My guests here with me in the studio are engineer Philip Tetapadi. He is to my far right. He is Kloma, the group leader. And then sitting next to me is Aye Kofi Zando, who is assembly member in Yodumasi North area, electoral area. Well, Ponguno is not within his area. His area is one of the places that have also been affected by the overbilling, which has sparked the series of events that we've witnessed in the Yellow and Lower Manya Krobo district. So, yes, he has a right to be here, and we'll have the conversation shortly. But as I told you earlier, we'll also be joined over the phone by a representative from the Energy Ministry and a relative of the young man who died in the fracas that broke out a few days ago. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Right. So I want to start with you, Aya. Let's start from the beginning. When the overbilling, the story around overbilling and when it all began. What can you tell us?
Actually, the overbilling started somewhere in 2014.
Right.
And when it started, consumers started complaining to PDS. They will go to PDS office with their billing issues. But anytime they get to the office, they come back with their complaint that what the desk officers over there tells them is this, that is the power consumed. So there's nothing we can do about it. You have to go and pay some.
Right. So how are you within the community calculating the overbilling? What is overbilling here?
Overbilling over here, let me summarize it in a layman's language for everybody to understand. Let's say we are two neighbors using the same appliances. This one I'm using, all things being equal.
Right.
We are two neighbors using the same appliances at the same rate. At the end of the month, my neighbor gets a bill, which is far, far, far less than what I get. I tell that as an overbilling. Or let us assume I've been paying electricity bill or I've been consuming on the average 50 cedis. And then all of a sudden you send me a bill of 5,000, 6,000, 7,000.
And that's how you were billed for a month?
Yeah.
Per month you could be billed as much as 5,000 or 6,000.
Exactly.
I see.
Or due to inability of PDS to come and read my meter, the meters, like I've not been served a bill for over a period of time, let's say 6 months. The 7th month, they will bring you a bill of about 40,000 Ghana cedis, 45,000 Ghana cedis.
For a household?
For a household. This, you yourself, when I come there to complain to you, you definitely know that this is overbilling. Because there's no way a domestic consumer of power could consume this much within a month. So these are some of the, how do you call it, the reasons we say PDS is overbilling.
Overbilling you. Now, we'll come back to the story of the beginning, from the beginning. But, engineer, I'm sure members of your group have told you about this experience. What are some of the stories you heard regarding this overbilling?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to greet our cherished listeners and viewers. Maha Klolichope Babahi. I am a victim to this, and I will tell my story. See, the whole thing, like my colleagues mentioned, it started in 2014.
Right, 2014. I thought it was 2017.
No,
2014.
Okay.
2014.
Right.
So, and these are the issues. Number one, overbilling, estimated bills, accumulated bills, non-reading of meters. They will not come for over a period to read the meters, and then they will just bring you a bill to pay. Disconnection over issues of disputed bills, then bad customer service. Let me stress that, as my colleague mentioned. I have my December 2014 bill over here.
Right.
The amount that I paid was 63 Ghana cedis.
December which year?
December 2014.
2014, okay.
March 2016, I was issued a bill of 45,452 cedis, 78 pesos.
Over what period?
That is what I cannot understand. My current bill on it is 36 cedis, 25 pesos. So for the month of March, my current bill, 36, 25 pesos. Previous amount. That is why I brought it 2014. So that you would know, even if I were owing just for a period of 2015, I was told that I'm owing 45,452 cedis, 78 pesos. Ridiculous.
Wait, so I want to understand. Let's take it a step at a time. This is your December 2014 bill, which is just 63 cedis. 63 cedis, and a few coins, pesos. So between this December 2014 and March 2016. March 2016. Did you pay any bill within this period?
They were not bringing the bill.
And
that is where the issue started. ECG upgraded their system from this sheet to an A4 sheet, and that brought the whole problem. So they were not capturing the actual consumption of customers. So they were just, I don't know, that is how come I got this 45,000. So when they brought the bill, I asked the person who brought the bill, do I have a morgue in my house? I don't, for the records, I don't even have an AC to be consuming this much. So I, to be honest with you, when I received the bill, I went to the office to complain that, look, this is the bill that you brought to my house.
And what did they say?
I should give them time, they will look at it. And then that was the end. So they themselves realized that they have a problem with the system. But you see, the challenge is this. They did not communicate these issues that they are facing or whatever they are to the customers. And for a period, as I mentioned, they were not bringing bills. So you will be there over a period of time, then they would bring you like they did. Others have huge bills.
Right.
You could imagine a lady with a bulb, an old lady with a bulb and a fan, 7,000, 10,000, 15,000 Ghana cedis. This, you cannot.
There's no
put your mind.
logical explanation.
Exactly.
Right.
That is why I brought the December bill so that you would see. Even if I were owing, ECG over a period of time, how much was my consumption? You saw the December. The last bill I paid was 63 cedis.
Right.
I paid. So from 2015 January up to March 2016, let's say how many months? Close
13.
to 13
No,
months
no,
or 14 months.
16 months.
16.
Right.
16 months, I should be owing 45,000 Ghana cedis. That is I just don't have the word to describe.
It's unacceptable. But
Unacceptable.
right. So what I want to, perhaps when we are joined by the representatives from the Energy Ministry, would get more into the problem that occurred, whichever way they want to put it. But our attempts to get PDS to speak to us have not been successful. So when you go to them and tell them that, well, this appears to be overbilling, or you are not sending me any bills anymore, what role did you play as an assembly member to make sure that they were bringing you what was due you?
There are some of the meters in the system that have not been captured into PDS billing system, like these SHARE project meters.
Okay.
Individual customers go there to report to them, but the complaint of PDS to the public is this, that the project had not been handed over to them, and for that matter, they cannot put it into their system. If the customers complain that they must give them a temporary account so that they will be paying money into it, PDS declined that particular offer from the public.
What time? What time was this?
From 2014.
From 2000. So at the time it was ECG.
It was ECG.
Okay. Yes, because I want people to understand. So at the time it was ECG.
Was ECG.
And you say they go to the people, and then what happens?
No, the people goes to them.
Right.
Like they go to them. That I have this meter. The meter, you will not be bringing me bill. So I am coming to report to you to capture it into your system so that I will be getting bills to pay. ECG will tell them that the project had not been handed over to them, and for that matter, they cannot capture the meter into their system. When we complain, some of my electrics complain to me, so I gather most of those meters that are not captured into the system, I send it to their office, and they were captured. But when the bills were being brought, I don't know how PDS calculates their billing, but the number of units consumed is used to calculate per month.
Right.
So a consumer could consume for about 30 months, but they will calculate the bill as though the person has consumed for just a month. And these are some of the causes of the escalation of the problems. There are some of the meters too that will stop reading at all.
And so they come and give you a flat rate.
Exactly.
That is
And the flat
where
rate that they bring to is just outrageous. Let's say I've been paying a bill of 30 cedis a month, and I come to report to you that for some time now I've realized my meter is no longer reading. So do something about it for me. You tell me, oh, you wait, I'll be giving you a flat rate for a period of time until such a time that we are able to sort you out. From 30 cedis, you bring me a bill of 7,000. How do you expect me to pay such a thing when I'm not using it for any business, but I'm using it domestically?
Engineer, you wanted to say something about the flat rate.
Yes.
What about it?
And that is the reason for some of these issues. You have a new meter in the system, you do not have any history of consumption, so on and so forth. Sometimes, like my colleague mentioned, when you even go to the ECG office, and bear in mind, there is only one customer service office that serves the Yilo, Manya, and some portions of Juapon and areas. So, going there with your problem, they would not have that ample time to discuss and make you understand the issues. So you go there saying that, okay, this is my problem. My meter has not been captured in the system. I do not have any historic consumption. So you come in and then see how much you can, give me for the period of time. Then instead of they coming to look at the various components or things that you're using in their house, so that based on that they can have a fair idea of your consumption rate, they wouldn't do that. Like my colleagues said, all you could realize is they will just bring you any amount at all that based on what calculation or what assumptions they only know, without even discussing with you, the consumer, the customer.
Right. So then that will fall under bad customer service for you.
That is a bad customer service.
But Aya, tell us, this shared project you talk about, how widespread is it within the community? Maybe you can focus on your community, the Odumase North Electoral Area. How many households would you say were involved in the shared project?
In my electoral area, we have, if I'm not mistaken, we have more than 50 households. 150.
150
households procuring the shared meter through that particular project. And the reason why the electrics went in for this shared meter is this, that anytime you try to acquire a meter from ECG, it takes ages. It takes ages. So when they brought in this shared meter, people rushed in to go and take it.
Right. Okay. So you're watching State of Affairs, and if you just tune in, we've been talking to Engineer Philip Tetepadi. He's leader of the Klomagbi Group, and Aye Kofi Zando is Assembly Member for Dumasi North. The plan today is to unpack the series of events that have taken place in the Lower Manya Krobo districts and the Yilo area as well. We've looked at where the problem started. 2014, over that period, there have been issues of overbilling, estimated bills being flat rated for you, the not reading of meters, and the very bad customer service that appeared to have climaxed the whole relationship between consumers and the power distributor. So, Aya, did you go beyond the ECG then at any point in time to have your issues addressed?
No. ECG is a service provider. So we felt like the best thing to do is to sit down and then dialogue with them.
Did that dialogue ever happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
We wrote to them.
Tell us the story.
We wrote to them
at
the district office over here, at the Somanya district office. They referred the case to their regional office. So the regional office quickly organized a team, a delegation, together with the district office, and they came to meet the community members, plus some of the assembly members at the district assembly office.
And what was discussed?
This was done, all the problems that we are enumerating, overbilling, non-reading of meter, wrongful accumulation of bills, and then sometimes wrongful billing. And when I say wrongful billing, like you've been served an arrears, you know you've consumed power, and you are owing ECG, and they bring you an arrears. You go there to clear. But subsequently, the arrears keeps repeating itself over and over again.
Engineer, were you part of this meeting?
Yes, I participated. Let me put something on record. You know, as I mentioned, the issue started in 2014. We had series of engagements with ECG to discuss the problem at hand. You know, they wouldn't just listen. Sometimes you would go, like I mentioned about the customer service, you would go there and nobody seems to be listening to you. And then they would come to town, massive disconnection. So let me put in record, in May 2017, you know, they were on one of their disconnection when in Yilo, Krobo, in Manya, when the whole town just marched on them, and that was the first demonstration. That was in Yilo. You know, after that, they formed a committee to come look at the impasse and whatever to see an amicable way of solving the problem. They came to a roadmap that was not communicated to all the stakeholders. I was part of that meeting when they came to meet with us to discuss those were the issues that we raised. They were not addressing the specific issues that we were raising. And then this current one happened in Manya. So you see, it is not just that we want to agitate or something.
So what were they addressing? If they were not addressing the problem, you had a series of engagements with them. What was their bargain they were bringing to the table?
When we realized that we had issues with our bills from 2014 to 2017, this is our end of the bargain. Cancel that bill for us.
Okay.
Scrap that bill that has issues, and let us start on a clean note. If not, resolve the billing issues. Let us know how much we actually owe so that we can have a structured plan of payment. That was not properly communicated to the customers. So, people still have in their mind these old bills, 45,000. Mine, when I went after a year or so, they brought me 5,000. And I told them, look, I'm not going to pay this 5,000 until I know the basis for which you arrived at that 5,000. And because I can go to their office and I understand the system, I can engage them. But what about those who cannot, actually understand the system?
Okay.
And part of the problem that he just talked about, when you go to them, they try to sit down and bargain with you. And then people started reading meanings into it. If you say,
if you can bargain with me, then it means you're lying.
Exactly.
The billing you are giving me is not the actual bill.
Okay, so Aya, as community leader, you had struck a bargain with ECG. ECG, it would appear to me, had no way of now recalculating the actual bills over the years from 2014. So you hit a bargain. Why didn't you, as community leaders, perhaps educate the people on this bargain, on this resolution, so that they understand what the ECG was trying to do? Then we could have forestalled the situation we had a few days ago.
In my electoral area, I did.
You did.
Part of the bargain that we had with ECG was this, that we must go to our various communities. We as assembly members organize an outreach program in our communities. ECG will bring down their equipment to the community so that customers who have been complaining that when they go to ECG's office are not given any better treatment or good customer care will be treated right there.
Did it work?
It did in some of the communities. Some of the communities, they couldn't organize such meetings. The reason, I can't tell, because I do not know what challenges those assembly members face. Another one is this, that ECG must go to the various churches, because on Sundays, a lot of people go to church.
Was that part of the agreement?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that whatever agreement we have over here will be communicated to the public. That I can state on authority that they did.
Okay. In all of the communities, or within
most of the communities,
Odumasi
I
North?
can't say no. Most of the electoral areas, I can't say all, because I cannot pinpoint those communities that were left out. But I know it is not every community that was covered, but they did in most of the communities. The challenge now is how to clean the system of those wrongful billing and overbilling. That's the issue which has brought us this far.
Engineer, you won't say something about implementing the resolution, because it would appear that the communication ended with you, the group leaders who engaged in the meeting. It doesn't trickle down to the people, and so now the people, from my impression, had some sort of mistrust for the power distributor, the ECG, at the time, that, well, if you brought me 50,000 bill and you're able to cut it down to 5,000, without necessarily telling me how you came to that conclusion, and thinking of the old lady who has just a bulb and you're asking the person to pay even 2,000. That sounds a lot. There appears to be a disconnect between that meeting and the people. So you as group leaders, what did you do within that period?
Let me state something over here. during the first demonstration that happened in Manya, one of the assemblymen or one of the leaders was arrested. Din. I don't know whether you've heard that name.
Yeah.
See, so in most of the engagement that we've had with the people, because, Din was arrested because he was fighting for those, the communities, those that were affected. The communities of the view that, look, bring or end the Din case, because by then the case was in court. So most of them were like, okay, we hear what you're saying. First of all, before we listen to you or we do anything, cancel the Din case. But you see, that pain is still within them. That, look, this guy was fighting for us and you arrested him, so let's cancel the case. They continued with the education to some extent. But, what even is the point that, look, these bills that you are bringing me now are correct? Because you, for some time now, have not read my meter. You've not brought me any monthly bill, and you are bringing me a bill to pay. So what is the assumption that, look, what is the guarantee that these current bills that you're bringing me are a true reflection of my consumption? You've not read my meter and you're bringing me bills to pay. So those are some of the issues that, prevented the people from actually following this roadmap. The engagement went on all right, but along the way it broke down
of the mistrust.
The mistrust, and then the Din case that I mentioned earlier.
Now let's fast forward to a few days ago,
Right.
When the youth of the area embarked on, the protests against the mass disconnection exercise. Did you as leaders see that coming?
We did. Let me put this on record. We saw this coming. But you see, unfortunately, leadership and proactivity, there is a problem there. We saw this coming. ECG, or now PDS, came to town on a mass disconnection with the police, which is not, I have the Electricity Supply and Distribution Technical and Operation Rules, 2015, LI 1816. Completely against the rules of engagement. They were not supposed to even go that far, let alone bringing the police in. When some of us saw this, I spoke to the MP, Honorable Telabi. I told him that, look, this, if not taken care of, will lead to something that we cannot handle. They did it at Pong. It went on smoothly because the police, and you see, everybody is afraid of the police. So immediately the police came in. Where's your bill? Okay, you are owing this much.
And then you're taking off the
You're taking off.
Okay.
Not looking at the current bill and the previous bill that has issues with. So they put all the bills together. If you have, let's say, 5,000 on your sheet, you're disconnected. Asked to go and pay either half or some substantial amount, you're not connected. So they did that in Pong. Most people went to pay their bills. They did that in Nwaso. Most of the community members, they complied, they went to pay. Then getting towards, as they climb up, heading towards Manya, before you get to Dumasi, they, got to one of the communities. And the people decided that, look, enough is enough. You had issues with your billing system. You were not bringing us bills over a period of time. You brought accumulated bills. And now you have the police as, I don't know what the right word to use. Escort. So that you can bully us anyhow. We would not agree to this. So there was some slight impasse between the members of the community and the police. They brought in tear gas. They brought in live bullet on that day. So quickly we realized that, look, if this is not handled properly, it will escalate into something that we cannot handle. We told the leaders. We were hoping that, look, the one mistake that we did, all this while, we left PURC out.
Right. I was going to ask you if you ever got to the PURC.
That is we brought them in too late. But on the week of that impasse, I spoke to one of their PROs. And I told them to come in as early as possible, else where the whole issue is heading, we would not be proud of. And it had happened.
Indeed.
You know, to add to what he just said, the exercise went on smoothly in Bong and Nwasu because the assembly members over there were involved. So probably they talked to their people to listen. But when they got to where the problem happened, the assemblyman was not involved. Even when PDS was about to go on this particular exercise, they're supposed to have informed the community leaders so that they will sensitize their people that this is an exercise, this is about to happen. Let us prepare. They will appeal to their people to go and pay the current bills so that probably the community leaders will engage with PDS to strike a deal. They never informed anybody. All that we could realize was PDS in our communities doing this kind of operation.
Right. I want us to look at the fracas itself in a bit, but I see your messages on Facebook and on Twitter, and I want to read a few of them. Amosalfa7 says what Mr. Philip Tetapadi is saying is true, because even a little kiosk in our area was issued a bill of 1,500 cedis. And there are a few others. On Facebook, RC Primary says, yes, it is when it comes to polling stations. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but Carl Boache Johnson says, people of Prestia are facing the same problem, and they have the thought of taking the same trend the Krobos took. Is asking us to call him for clarification. I'll have my producer do that. RC Primary Aketeria says Cloma is solidly behind you. And please, so do we have something like Odumase North? Ami Kwame Robin is asking. Odumase North is not a constituency or a district, it's an electoral area. So yes, there is Odumase North. And there's this one from, well, I can't reach that one, but keep your messages coming in. My producers will send me all of your messages and I will share them with the rest of our viewers here. Now, if you just joined us, you probably missed a chunk of the conversation here. I don't know if we're ready to hear from the relatives of the young man who died, but perhaps we should take a listen to the energy minister when he spoke about the situation. Or maybe when we come back, we'll do that. So I'll take a quick break. When we come back, it's the energy minister.
Loves his family. He works hard to take care of them. So Ifya, his young daughter, can become the doctor she's always dreamt of. And Akusia, his lovely wife, can open the nursery school she talks about all the time. He can see a happy, relaxed retirement in the years to come. But life can get in the way of our dreams. Unable to work, how do their dreams come to pass? Don't let life's tragedies get in the way of your family's dreams. Get a life insurance policy from Star Life today. Star Life, your solid partner for life.
Lonely Mr. also has a problem with his radio.
Mission time!
My big brother always stealing my cowbell coconut milk power cable. Check. Circuit board. Check.
Hunger, cowbell, mug, check. Radio, check.
More flavors are better than one. Cowbell is fortified with protein, mineral, vitamin A, C, D, E, and K to help you complete the mission. Cowbell comes in coconut, strawberry, choco malt, and Mr. Owusu's favorite, mocha. There's something for everyone.
Mission accomplished!
We see you. And you. Ooh,
And you too, Mr. Romantic. We see you and the wonderful things you're doing. You just want to make it in life, and we are here just for that. For over 15 years in 53 locations in Ghana and present in 9 other countries across the world, we've given over 1 billion Ghana cedis to more than 400,000 Ghanaian workers and businesses just like you, helping them to build their dreams. So go on, go ahead and do the things that make you happy. Make memories, create businesses, get paid, and live free. Because we will be here watching you. We are Bayport. Bayport Savings and Loans. Your future now.
Stomach pain. He's got flu.
Come. You two.
Both of you. Both?
The illnesses are different, but the problem of both is the same.
Same?
Germs. When germs go from hand to mouth, they cause illnesses like stomachache. And when germs go inside the nose, they cause illnesses like flu. The symptoms are different, but the protection remains the same.
New Lifebuoy with Active Natural gives 10 times better protection from infection-causing germs.
Win your share of 1 million cedis. Buy a limited edition Guinness. Text the code under the Concord to 1759 and you could be one of 88,000 weekly winners. Guinness, made of more. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Welcome aboard. At Uber, we believe safety never stops. It doesn't stop with driver profiles or making sure all drivers are checked. It doesn't stop with letting you share your trip with loved ones. While the driving hours feature prevents drivers from driving too long with us. And it certainly doesn't stop with launching a safety toolkit just to be safe. We never stop looking for ways to improve your safety, because safety never stops.
If I don't see this wedding with my own eyeballs, dear, it's not me.
Church right.
I just go into the church. Okay, let me connect my earpiece.
Now you may.
Renano.
Yeah. Oh, these are who stop me by their sharing here. For salam. Buffet, papa.
Enjoy even more value with MTN Free After One. You only pay for the first minute of your call on MTN Free After One, and the rest is free. Plus, you enjoy free 50 megabytes worth of data to browse your favorite sites. Umpe where? Umpe den. Dial *315# to sign up now.
We dare for you everywhere you go.
Tired of all the old ways of fighting mosquitoes? Discover the new Raid Day and Night. 3 sprays on 1 poster for 24-hour mosquito protection for the whole family. The future of mosquito protection. Raid Day and Night. It's
Welcome back. This is State of Affairs live on GH1 television. My name is Keminni Amanor. Tonight our focus is on the fracas or series of events that have taken place in the Lower Manya Krobo district, which has led to the death of a young man. And this point of the conversation will focus on that. We have a few minutes to exit the studio, so we'll focus mainly on that. My guest tonight, Engineer Philip Tetapadi, is Klomagbi leader, and Aye Kofi Zando is assembly member for Odumase North. His community also was affected by the overbilling controversy and the mass disconnection exercise as well. Let's talk about this young man. And Philip, I want to start with you. You've been with, leaders as they try to look into this matter. What do we know about him? How did he even die?
Okay, thank you. I was in Accra that very day when the thing happened, and it was my wife who gave me a distress call because they locked themselves in the shop.
Right.
Because of the shooting. And let me put this on record. My small boy, 4 years, getting to 4 years, is so traumatized.
Because of this?
Because of this. He wouldn't want to see a police officer or even hear siren. He would just run. He's so traumatized. The day after the incident, he decided not to go to school. We had to let him stay and then talk to him before he could get over the whole issue. You know, when the incident happened, the following day we went round asking. So we went to the chief with some of the people, and apparently, you know, the areas that were disconnected, Punguno area. So the chief, according to the story that I was told and what I inquired, the chief was going to the MCE to make inquiries or to complain, because for some time now he's not been having light. His lights were off.
Right.
So he was going there to talk to the MCE. And then coincidentally, some of the members of the community also decided to go. So they were on their way when they met the police. And then the whole incident started.
Were these people armed?
Well, because I wasn't there, I cannot tell whether they were armed or... Look, I would not believe they were armed.
Right.
Because the chief whom we spoke to, because we went to the chief who was going to see the MCE, he was not armed. He told us specifically that he and his colleagues or his people were not armed, because they were only going for clarifications from the MCE. And even if you talk to people who witnessed the situation, they could clearly tell you the people were not armed. But unfortunately, I can even show you bullet holes.
Right.
In my wife, because my wife's shop is right at the spot. Bullet holes in her billboard.
Right. So the police fired, according to eyewitness, fired at this group unprovoked. That is what eyewitnesses are saying. Were you in the community when this happened that day?
Actually, I wasn't in the community, but I was briefed. And the worrying thing about this particular shooting incident is this, that there are schools around the vicinity where the shots were fired. A crèche, then the Roman Catholic Basic School,
right,
a hospital, and then the market itself. And the incident happened on a market day.
And all of these people were ignored. The police still fired into the crowd.
We do not know what, I do not know what the rules of engagement of the police force is in controlling some of these.
Oh, definitely not live bullets, because then I remember on the day we had a conversation with the police. They did say, and Ebenezer Tete, if I'm wrong, you can call into the program and let us know. He made mention the fact that no officer was using live bullets. They were just firing tear gas into the crowd. So it's shocking to learn that, somebody died. How did the young man, how was he hit?
It's a categorical lie. According to my small boy, 4-year-old, he witnessed shooting. And he came home and he was so traumatized. He could not eat that night. From a 4-year-old boy. You're telling me you were just using
tear gas.
That was a lie. Everybody saw what happened. I watched Joy News. They showed a bullet right in a hole of a wall.
And you showed me bullets from your wife's store as well. Now let's speak to the father of the young man who died, Wilfred Sam Pate. He's joined us over the telephone. Wilfred, do accept condolence for the loss of your son. We're sorry about your loss. Wilfred, you have to listen to me on the phone, not on the television set. And so if you could just turn down the volume on a television set so you can take a listen to me on the phone.
All right. You have to listen to me on the phone.
Because I'm getting feedback. I can hear myself from your TV.
All right.
Great. Okay, so first of all, What have you heard about how your son died?
All right. Before I start, I render my appreciation to the Energy Minister. Before I start, let me render my appreciation to the Energy Minister, Honorable Peter John Amewu, and his team comprising of Honorable Samuel Nweke, the Deputy Eastern Regional Minister, Honorable Simon Tete, MCE for Lower Manya, Krobo, Honorable Benjamin Awule Amensa, the Lower Manya Municipal Assembly presiding member. They visited me and my family yesterday.
Right.
I really appreciate their visit.
Right, I'm sure they hear you.
Yeah.
So tell us, what did you hear about how your son died?
Yeah. I was in Tema. I was called. When I was called that my son is shot dead. So I arrived to the police. I arrived late in the night. Then they told me the body was taken to the St. Martin Hospital at Agomanya. The next day I went to the police and they led me to the mortuary and I saw the body of my son.
Right. So
now.
Right.
Later, an eyewitness told me my son was not part of the demonstration. He was pushing truck. It was market day. So he and his colleague were pushing truck to send loads to some people's houses where he was, when he was shot. So actually, the boy is not part of the demonstration.
Right. So, have the police been able to have any engagement with you at all regarding the death of your son?
Please come again.
Have the police engaged you in any way regarding the death of your son?
Yeah, I went there. I went to the police station.
What did they say to you?
All right. They told me to conduct postmortem.
Mm-hmm.
So we scheduled yesterday for the exercise. But yesterday, unfortunately, it did not come on. Today, I was in their house, and they called me that they have sent the body to Accra.
They've sent the body. They have brought the body here in Accra for autopsy to take place. And forgive me for what I'm about to ask you, taking you back to events of the day you identified the body of your son. But share with me, from what you saw, was your son hit by a bullet or he died of other causes within the crowd? Was he hit by a bullet?
Oh, it is bullet. They shot him at the back.
Right.
And the bullet came out on the chest.
I see. Did you confront the police based on what you had seen, that your son was hit by a bullet?
I told them exactly what I said, but they said they have no idea. So they are going to send the body to conduct the autopsy.
Right. We know that the minister, together with his entourage, came to see you and, assess the situation in the community for themselves. Yeah. What did they say to you? What engagements did they have with you?
Oh, well, they brought the The reconciliation force, what is that?
Is that
to console me?
Is that good enough for you?
Yeah.
Is that good enough for you?
Oh no, not at all.
What would you want? What would you like be done in this circumstance for you?
Since my boy was not part of the demonstration, I want the government to look into it for justice to prevail.
Indeed. Yeah. I want us to spend the last few minutes about who your son was. He was 23, we hear.
Yes.
What kind of a person was he? Well, Wilfred, I can imagine it wouldn't be easy remembering your son and reliving what could have been his last moments here on earth. But can you share with us, what did he like to do? What was he like as your son?
He's a jovial person. And everybody in the community likes him.
I see. We'll leave it here for now, but trust us to follow the story till indeed some finality is brought to this. There's nothing we can do to bring him back, but at least we can get him some justice, find out really what happened to him. Finality is important here. We'll get you some, we will put in efforts at reaching the authorities to contribute to your efforts at getting closure on this matter. Thank you very much, Wilfred. Pate is father of the 23-year-old young man who died in this fracas. And you were telling me earlier that people within the community know who shot this young man. Why are we not hearing anything about it? Why won't the police take that information?
Thank you. We want the police to do their work. You saw the crowd in your video. Were they armed? The police said they made some arrests. Were the people armed? Those are the questions that we need to establish. And then, yes, the community members, when you talk to them, clearly they say they know who shot the guy. But you know, coming out with that information because we do not have any investigation going on will be like irrelevant now. But when something begins and some form of investigation started or starts, then, you know, possibly some of the community members who witnessed the shooting incident will come forward and say who took the shot. I want to believe even people recorded the incident. I want to believe that.
Right.
I don't know, but I
in
would
the
want
era
to
of smartphones, perhaps
I want to
someone
believe
did.
that. Exactly.
Right. I was going to ask you about the people who are arrested just before I take Aya's comment on the death. But what do we know? What's the latest on the people who were arrested? 6 or 8 people were arrested. And
I have friends who were arrested. I was on a radio station talking about this same problem when some colleagues of mine who were working, but because of the shooting incident, they were afraid. So they left their shop, ran into a house, hid themselves. The police came on them and arrested them as they were the people who were causing the trouble.
The situation.
So this needs, you know, forgive me, the police need to do a good job on this to unravel the entire situation. Because look, we're not going to take it like, oh, you know, it was just something that killed the guy. It wasn't a bullet. Whilst people saw what actually took place on that very fateful day. And then if we have some few time, I want to, you know, the regional minister, I don't know whether you will be coming to that, but the Eastern regional minister said something that, you know, it was very unfortunate.
Right.
He said that the Krobos, they said they're not going to pay light bills because they have an MOU with the dam and whatever. Yeah. That is a lie.
Now, Eric Darfour, we're told by some members of the party who've asked him to apologize, and we haven't heard the apology.
He must apologize to the Krobo state.
Well, the NPP executive, indeed, we haven't heard anything. But the NPP executive's point was that he was misinformed about the situation, so his comment was misplaced. But it will be helpful if we hear him say that himself. Right?
Thank you very much. You know, but you see, that is where I have a problem with our leadership. Misinformation. What prevented him, after hearing this, coming down to the ground, ascertain the situation for yourself? Right. So you will just act on hearsay or who misinformed him?
Quite an unfortunate incident.
And then look at what the indigent minister, when he came to town, look, he was on the heels of PDS.
We'll take a look at that, and then I'd have you comment on it. Unfortunately, I can't have you comment now. When we come back, you comment about the death. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
See a happy, relaxed retirement in the years to come. But life can get in the way of our dreams. Unable to work, how do your dreams come to pass? Don't let life's tragedies get in the way of your family's dreams. Get a life insurance policy from Star Life today. Star Life, your solid partner for life.
We see you. And you. Ooh, and you too, Mr. Romantic. We see you and the wonderful things you're doing. You just want to make it in life, and we are here just for that. For over 15 years in 53 locations in Ghana and present in 9 other countries across the world, we've given over 1 billion Ghana cedis to more than 400,000 Ghanaian workers and businesses just like you, helping them to build their dreams. So go on, go ahead and do the things that make you happy. Make memories, create businesses, get paid, and live free. Because we will be here watching you. We are Bayport. Bayport Savings and Loans, your future now.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
I don't cry, baby.